Hi, my name is Trey Smith, and I am the events manager here at TheatreSquared.
Hi, I'm Latrey Rimbert. I am playing Larry in this production of Fat Ham.
Hi, I'm Brandon Foxworth, and I'm playing Juicy.
Hi, I'm Alexa Lindsay Henner. I play Opal in Fat Ham.
Hi, I'm Taylor K. Mazzaros. I am serving as the stage manager.
Hello, I'm Jordan and I play Tio.
And this is
Sit and Sip!
so excited to be back with a very special episode of Sit and Sip because I am here with the cast of Fat Ham. And this is a Sit and Sip first because we have our first stage manager at a Sit and Sip. So I think that all of that magnificence requires a cheers.
Say less.
So to Fat Ham.
To Fat Ham!
Cheers.
It was so good he choked, y'all.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are so fucking funny, man. Y'all are so, all you hear is cheers.
I'm so excited to have all of you here today. So I thought we might jump into some questions.
Yes.
So, first question, can you tell me a little bit about the show?
Without giving too much away,
Sure.
I really appreciate the transformation from start to finish in this show that you get to witness on stage. For everybody, every single person on the stage, every single character goes through a transformation.
Yeah. A show about transformation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that a queer, black, thick, juicy boy is this protagonist and also just, I guess, the center of a show for once where his weight or his skin isn't a joke.
Sure.
You know, like he's honestly listened to and people are attracted to him and people are sometimes cruel to him, but not because of his skin and not because of his weight. Maybe his actions or maybe his personality or that they don't agree with. So I love doing a show where a big black juicy boy is not a joke.
Yeah.
But rather he is actually going through things. He's human. You know, he gets to be raw. He gets to be messy. Like, I love that about this show.
Cool.
Yeah, and as a show kind of like inspired by the story of Hamlet, it's fun to, like Taylor was saying, just watch the transformation of all the characters.
Yeah.
My favorite moment is the end. Ha ha ha. But no, like there's just so much that occurs throughout the evening, and I guess that sense of celebration, maybe, question mark?
Sure.
We'll use that word.
Sure.
It's fun to just be a part of.
Yes.
Do we all have to say something? Okay. I was just, do we all have to say
Well, nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Next question. What has been your favorite part of this Fat Ham process?
Okay. I'm just gonna have to say that our journey in Pittsburgh, you know, we were at City Theater first and then we journeyed over here to TheatreSquared. And our journey in Pittsburgh was beautiful. Like I remember the first day we had our reading, we all were meeting each other for the first day. And I don't believe none of us had our callback meetings with each other. Like we didn't read with each other. So that was our first time. That was like a chemistry test and also at the same time, these are the folks you're gonna be with for the next 4 months. And I had heard such beautiful things about Montez Freeland, our director, and I hadn't really met him in person until that time. But it was just this beautiful moment where stage management, where actors and director all together just connected. And folks were like, "You all are just meeting today?" And we're like, "Yeah, I literally just met him in the parking lot. I just met Khalil in the parking lot. I just met him. I just met her. I just met her." And it was, we all felt it. Like we all were like, "This is gonna be special." So we work on this show that has all of these themes and these heights and these lows, and it tests us, it makes us laugh, it pushes us, and we get to a beautiful place in Pittsburgh. But we're all still continuing to, everybody in this show is sharp. Whether it's stage management, the crew, or the actors, everybody, because this is a show where there's so much in it. Something can happen every day, and so you really have to be on it and be listening to each other. So we were starting to develop newer things in Pittsburgh, but now we're like, well, usually we would end the show right where we're starting to get to a point where we're like, oh, I'm really understanding what this scene means even more now. But we were blessed with this opportunity to now know that we were coming here so that we knew that we could go into rehearsal again and really start to craft even deeper. And so this run for me has been much deeper in so many ways. It has challenged me more physically, it has challenged me more emotionally. I believe like Montez saw, he had this ice block in Pittsburgh, he chipped it, and then he chipped it even more here. And it really was just finite choices and just really bringing things together to say, and we're in a different space, we're in a different place. So he was really good at like, yes, let's take this away, we can actually add something here. And that's been beautiful about this process, is the depth we've gone through being here.
Cool.
To double down on that, for me, I would say Fat Ham is Fat Ham. The show, the script is amazing itself, but the people, from the actors to the designers to the tech, from both Pittsburgh crew and Fayetteville, Arkansas crew, has just been like a strong, very strong army. Every person has a part in this every step of the way, and even for the designers who aren't here anymore, like their work is still just as lively as it is as if they're here. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like the support system. People treat each other like everyone's voices matter. Everyone who walks into the door has something to provide for this show, and it speaks louder than words every time we perform every night. Yeah. So I appreciate it.
And I think I agree with everything that has been said. Like, having been able to see the show a couple of times, I think that like what you're saying about like the community that was formed is so evident in the work that you're doing on the stage. And I think that that's what really makes this show special. I mean, aside from the fact that it's a great script and an amazing story and y'all are wildly talented, I think you also have such a chemistry on stage that really, like, I think you can feel it after it's done. So I think, people should definitely come see the show and feel the community that's been created.
Yes, shout out to the designers. I miss them so much. They really did their thing, like for real. Like, for real.
I mean, I will add, if there's time, I will add that my favorite part of this co-pro is that this is my first time doing the same project in two different locations. Usually I have received a show that's been started somewhere else and now it's coming, that I get to work on. And similar to both what Brandon and Alexa were saying, the designers and Montez and this cast have created this world to play in, and now we really get to live in it. Like, we really get to dig in and live in it. Yes, we got here to Fayetteville and things got to be adjusted or zhuzhed or however, adjusted, but now we get to play even more. And a lot of times, like once you do one leg of the show, it's like, okay, you might be ready to move on to the next thing, but for me at least, this one, I was like, no, I'm not ready to let this go. I'm ready to dig even deeper. And so that's what I've enjoyed about my time in Arkansas.
Yay.
You're so adorable.
Okay, so Fat Ham is kind of a queer Black retelling of Shakespeare's classic, Hamlet, right? So my next question is, if you could make any Shakespeare play, or play in general, musicals included, queer, which one would it be?
I'm gonna shake the table. Let's go with Othello.
Othello.
And let's shake it even more, and let's like make Desdemona, or not Desdemona. That's her name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Like everybody's black, or like not black, but like everybody is a minority.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Iago's, I don't know, and there's like no white people. Sorry, but let's shake that table up. Let's make it a gay situation.
Yeah.
Queer.
A queer BIPOC. A queer BIPOC. Othello. Okay.
Honestly, shout out to Latre for doing A Midsummer's Night's Dream.
You can't say that.
Okay, cut that. But can I talk about A Midsummer's Night's Dream in Harlem? Because I've done the show in Pittsburgh Public Theater.
Sure.
It is a queer adaptation to William Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night's Dream.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Midsummer's Night's Dream in Harlem is a queer adaptation to A Midsummer's Night's Dream, written by William Shakespeare. That was produced in Pittsburgh by Justin Emeka, the director. He was the director. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about it, but because there will be other productions out there if you're interested. But it was a beautiful way to see how the magic in the world of Shakespeare could be turned into Black culture and queer culture all in one.
Yeah.
And that was a very exciting experience. So I do look forward to more queer versions of this because there's so much room to do it.
Yeah.
And I hope people take those risks.
Yes.
I would love to see Romeo and Julio.
Okay.
Yes, I would love to see that. I've always, like, when I was a kid and I would read Shakespeare, I would always imagine, if my teacher had me reading the male counterpart, I would always imagine the female counterpart as a man. So I was like, well, I would love to see that because I always just saw it in my mind in high school. But also, Julius Caesar. I would love to see Julius Caesar queer. I think that would be so interesting, based upon the direction and how they go about it, but I would love to see that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So this show also takes place at a barbecue, which leads me into my next question, which is, what is your favorite thing to eat or bring to a barbecue?
Collard greens.
Collard
greens.
Okay.
You can give me 2 bowls, 3 bowls, red bowls, blue bowls. I want the collard greens.
Good.
Thank you. I will not make them. I
Okay.
still got some learning to do.
Fair enough.
And I'm sure I ain't gonna get glory. No disrespect. Don't eat it out of the can. We gotta make it. But
Yeah.
I will mess up some collard greens. I love collard greens. Yes.
I will eat it with you.
Okay.
Collard greens, that's your thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Food, right?
Yes.
Vibes isn't a food. I just bring the good
He
time.
said he was
I
bringing
don't
the
know that there's a
vibes.
food that I really bring that I'm like,
No, like, but like, what do you eat? Like,
what do I eat?
Yeah,
Like
it's like, what do you
at the
eat?
barbecue, like what's your favorite thing?
He said, I bring the
what are you
vibes.
bringing
though.
to the
No, I
cookout?
bring
I'm like,
vibes.
Favorite thing to eat or bring?
I'm like, you're not bringing a paper plate, not a napkin, not a cup. He said the vibes.
Vibes, literally, and
The
I really
vibes.
think that's so important. Like, you have to come to the cookout. Somebody needs to come
Sure.
to have the best time.
Yes.
Like, that's so important. But
Okay.
I would say I would probably go with the ribs.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ribs.
No one's talked about fried chicken yet.
Yeah.
Can we talk about fried? Okay.
If that's what you want to eat.
Yeah, that's what I want
I
to
was
eat. Y'all
thinking
don't want to eat
about
fried chicken?
I was thinking about the baked beans.
The baked beans. and
That's
baked
what my
beans.
mind went to.
Red Frank's hot sauce right outside.
The
I
peach
was
cobbler.
making the burgers.
Okay.
That was my first job.
Okay, get on the
back
grill
when.
then.
I would be making the burgers and I would be eating all the potato salad.
Okay.
Yes.
Only if there's
Okay.
mustard in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amen.
Don't
okay.
ask nobody if there's mustard. Don't ask.
Just look.
Taste.
And don't ask who made the potato salad.
Was anybody else getting brisket at the barbecue, or is that like a
I don't be doing
Texan
brisket in
thing?
Pittsburgh.
I love brisket.
Pittsburgh don't do brisket.
But
How old were
that's
you
not
getting
what I
brisket?
can make.
He was like 12.
Nah,
Getting
no,
some
I was well.
I'll get some
Well, I'm from
brisket in the
Texas.
baked beans. Baked beans, some brisket in the baked beans.
Yeah.
With some
Rolls.
bacon.
What about some brisket mac and cheese?
Oh.
Brisket is not that popular in
biggest fan of
Pittsburgh.
antique
I really
Brisket
don't
is
know.
not.
It's food. It's fried chicken.
It's fried chicken.
It's
Fried
Let's just say
chicken.
it's about fried
Maybe
chicken.
some fried
It
chicken.
is.
It's about fried chicken.
I miss Hook's fish and chicken.
Yeah.
There we have it.
Good.
Like Peter Pan.
Okay. You ready for my last question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it's a deep one. Get ready. It's a big one.
All right.
Okay. Why this show? Why now? Yes.
Why this show? Why now? I am a working artist back at home, and like just an opportunity like this is hard to ignore. So of course I took it and brought it with me. But I stayed. But of course I wasn't gonna leave, no matter what. But like I genuinely felt myself just staying because of the fact that I've learned so much about myself. There's another side of Alexa that I've gotten to know, and it's a great time. And I can't wait to go back to Pittsburgh with it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I transformed, but I've learned a lot about myself, especially because of you guys too. So like, completely, I appreciate it. That's why.
Yeah.
I think what I've noticed, and it really is connected to what I appreciate about watching this show and being a part of this show, is the audience's reaction. Watching people squirm, people literally laugh, cry, squirm, walk out, and everything in between. People drive 5 hours twice to come see the show. So there's a wide spectrum of like people's experiences. And I just feel like the American theater, as we know, is a traditionally white space.
Sure.
And this play, after a season like COVID and the Black Lives Matter and the revolution of sorts that has kind of taken place, this play for Black people, for queer people, for all other people, is a great opportunity for like us to really crush the whole trope of the American theater being a white space. And it really gives us the opportunity to just be ourselves, be free, like playing characters like this, just like Brandon was saying, just like Alexa was saying, is like not something we get to do often. We're really trying to step into other people's shoes most of the time and look at other people's walks of life. But this is something that's like literally just for us, by us, and it's like invaluable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that for me personally, when I started to read Shakespeare in high school, I was mad. I was like, why are we? Because it just seemed like, why is this white man this big mecca in like America? Like most people say, most theater productions that are produced are either musicals or Shakespeare. And that just made me so mad because I'm like, I know it's Black folk out here who is writing. But like also, it was kind of like forced. Like, this is the standard. This is good acting. This is American theater. And I just didn't really see myself. Even I read Othello years later, but I didn't really see myself. And so as I continue to go through training, and Shakespeare is becoming this even more relevant thing, and I'm like, okay, all right, I have to make peace with this. And then I really started to get into the poetry of Shakespeare, and I loved how his writing reflected the people that were going through things at that moment. It was for the people. And I had always wished for something to be written where we, as Black people, we talk in poetry. We get to talk in heightened language. We get to talk in Ibanez. We get to talk in AAVE. We get to talk however we want. And that is beautiful, and that is theater, and that deserves to be on the main stage. That deserves to be seen. We don't always need to play the certain tropes that people are used to seeing us play. And within this show, William Shakespeare is mentioned, but it's really not even about him. It really is about this family, these group of people, what these folks are going through, where their trauma is coming from, and how they're trying to move through that. And that needs to be seen now, because if I was a young, closeted, queer Black boy who was watching this show, when I was reading Shakespeare, my whole mindset of what I would think is possible would be changed.
Yeah.
I would think that I am worthy of love way earlier on. I would have thought that I can heal from my parents' baggage or their baggage way earlier on. I would have connected with myself way earlier on. But I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe it needs to be done now for the folks in the audience who feel that no one hears them, that no one sees them. Someone needs to know that someone's out here writing about you.
Yeah.
Someone out here cares about you. And we're gonna take care of your story. We're not just going to, you know, put it out there to make it a gimmick. We're actually gonna care about it and lend care, because our theater saves people and it helps people feel seen. And there's a lot of people out here who don't feel seen. So that's why it needs to happen now.
Yeah.
Especially here.
Yeah.
I will add that, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's a lot of trauma in this play.
Sure.
The moments that I think are important for me now, for anybody now, and like Brandon was saying, if I had seen them earlier, are the pockets of joy, the pockets of positivity. I'm not going to give it away, but there's a moment between Tidra and Juicy that really inspires me every day, because it's something I wish I had heard.
Yeah.
You know? So I think there's something like that for anybody in our audience or anybody reading it, that despite the trauma, and maybe because of the trauma, like the joy is just that much more present, and it feels more exalted to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. This play is Black, and it's queer, and it's honest, and it's joyous, and it is universal, and you need to come catch it before it goes. So make sure you come catch Fat Ham at TheatreSquared.